What's happening, guys? Welcome back to episode 9, picking up from Path of the Pilgrim. So, moving on from this point, we're really just going to be working through a rather small zone leading up to the next chapter. So, that being said, you're still going to be dealing with petrification enemies. Now, there will be a few new enemy types, some pretty heavy hitters. However, it's more the same. Their weakness is going to be fire, so if you guys have something for that, it's going to help. Now, as we go on down to the right-hand side first, we're going to get a chest with a new weapon. However, there's going to be one gentleman here that wants to try to drop on you. That drop can cause damage. His block, step back, can be fine. There's going to be an acid weapon, so your first of which. So if you're doing an advanced build, you have the salamander dagger for fire. You have the acidic spear we picked up for acid, and then obviously you have the coiled the coil stick, so you guys can go ahead and get something for electric. So now you actually have all statuses in the game. So if you're doing an advanced build, you guys are starting to get some options. You can put together something pretty nice. I'd probably try to break those weapons down and craft something better. Almost all of them have pretty horrible reach, all in all. But, that's up to you guys. However, it does offer some choices. Alrighty. So once we have this cleared, we're going to head on down and fight a really big bear. This guy's not really something to play with. He'll typically charge in. He's got these really big swipes. He's got a huge jump attack he does. But if you can just get one charge heavy, usually you'll kind of lock him down. Just stick on him, and you'll blitz right through. You see that? It doesn't have to be bad. If you're being too defensive, he's going to make you pay for it. So going down from this point, that will move into your next section. But instead of doing that, what we're going to do is backtrack this way so we don't miss items. Now, I recommended the puppet strings for instances like this. These guys are annoying. You can't really see their attacks, both of them on even level. What I like about puppet string is it actually interrupts their attacks. So when you pull them closer, you just put them down much easier. You don't really have to worry about their tentacles trying to hit you and all that, because it's really hard to see their attacks, if I'm being honest. It is. They're small. Like I said, they have the tentacles. You just can't really see it. Aww. I was hoping to pull them into the trap. It didn't work. Alright, y'all. From this point, sticking on the main road, that's going to bring you into your next area. Right over here is a few upgrades, so there's going to be one guy that drops down right by this item. Just be mindful. Get an upgrade here. Hidden Moonstone. Then there's going to be a butterfly right here. Dark Moon, Moonstone of the Covenant. We actually get a few of those this episode. We'll start working towards the next upgrade. It'll definitely be a bit, but, we start working towards it. Not that bad. I think 2 episodes before we get to +3. It's not, not too bad. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, now we're going to push forward. So once we get into this little village over here, there's going to be one of those big guys we fought at the bridge heading to the cathedral. If you guys want to buff up with fire, you can. I don't really think it's necessary this time. I wouldn't use our grindstone because we have something else we want to use that for. But on top of him, there's going to be a few smaller enemies too. So if we can separate, that's going to be the best bet. Just going to get that heal off too. Where'd you go, big boy? Oh, he never came down. He usually comes down by now. Come on. He's a late bloomer. Okay. Yep, gotta really mind that stamina. So once we go into the first thing we want to do is go over to the right hand side, dead end, get an item. It's actually a pretty straightforward path, but there's definitely some stuff you can miss here that's quite nice, like upgrades. So just be cautious. For the most part, we're just kind of looping around. Now, I will point this out again, but since we're right here, this building, if you look behind, you'll see some other stuff going on. Shortcuts is actually a chest. You can barely see through the wall there. There's a cryptic vessel that sends us back here much later on, so this is not stuff we're missing, but it's just stuff that we do not have access to just yet. So I want to make sure that, everybody does know that. you. Now, we do not... Oh, we have to backtrack. Yep. We do not want to fall down here for one. There's a very tough enemy that's going to break right through that gate. So we're going to get you guys a shortcut. Go handle a few other things first. Want to make sure we're ready for it. Aside from that, though, we don't want to go down. That's the path that's going to bring us out. Like I said, we have other paths to knock out. We want to make sure we get a shortcut. You start getting, down there, there's a good chance you could get killed. And then you got a big-ass run back. Not a good time. So we're going to stick to the top. It's going to be 2 more enemies. Thank you. Then we're going to drop straight down. Pick that up. Hey, give it a little bit of lore if you guys want to check that out. And get your shortcut here. Then, like I said, that just takes you on out to your next area. So instead, we're going to go to your left, pull your left. Alright, so to the right, we got lore, shortcut. That's going to save you that whole fucking road round. Because make sure you do this first, you might live to regret it. Alright, so as far as stats, like I said, we weren't really going to recommend a build because the game is, deflecting, attacking. That's what it is. If you like technique weapons, that's what you should go with. If you like motivity weapons, that's what you should go with. But I still will recommend how to level your stats because it's smart. So we want to go 20 on everything. 20 health, stamina, capacity, and then whatever, your damage stat happens to be. Once we get to 20 damage, we would just want to stay in health till it's done, stay in capacity till it's done. Then we'll get back to damage to the rest of the game. That's the smartest way to do it because for a while, 20 will hold you on health and, capacity. But it does get to a point where you're going to need more protection. You're going to need more survivability. So this is just enough to let us go ahead and, start working on our damage early game. That's it. But we got to get, these numbers a little bit higher. So on the way down, right here's the Dark Moon Moonstone of the Covenant. So make sure you get this drop. Then we could quite literally just drop right back down where we were. Now sometimes these enemies want to try to follow us. Like I said, we're about to get into a tough fight. Spend the time and put them down again. Since we have rested. You don't have to kill all of them. Those 2 will do. Now, when you see this next guy, you could actually run past him if you're worried about him. And then that would bring you to the next area. You can do that. But I would not recommend it, guys. I would not recommend it. The fact of the matter is this guy's going to drop a key, allowing us into one of these houses, and give us a really nice defensive work. So hopefully you have enough time to start landing on him. This guy has a lot of stagger, though, if you notice. He's got a lot of posture. That's already 3 cards heavy. It still didn't break his stance. 4. Still didn't break his stance. So, yeah, quite crazy. So we'll get that on the way down just to quickly show this off. Like I said, we have to come back later when we get a cryptic vessel. So there's nothing that we can do about it right now. However, there's one item to grab. Just so we know our area is cleared and full, we will go and pick that up. Now from here, once we open this door, there's going to be 2 enemies in the chest. That's really it. They're smaller enemies. Just know that they're there. So this is your next defensive part for acid, and it's definitely better than the converter you have on right now. Did I even put my liner on? I thought we bought some liner. We did, right? Is that the one we picked up? It doesn't seem like it. I thought we picked one up. Either way. Now remember, just because you got something last does not mean it's the best. You have electric, you have fire, you have acid. So if... like this one right now, obviously it's the best one we have. We just picked this up. However, if you get to the next zone, you're dealing with puppets to electric damage. Make sure to switch back over to that. That's still going to be the best choice. So if you run around with acid, it's not going to do you any favors. This is something I didn't pick right up on my first playthrough because I was like, oh, if this is the most heavy one I have, if this is the last one I picked up, it's got to be the best. But it was for the wrong status. So doing to make sure that this is mentioned. So either way, guys, moving on from this point, we're actually all wrapped up. This was just another transition zone. I mean, anytime you complete a chapter, you're gonna have just a small little root area that's connecting one chapter to the other. So transitional area. That's what I like to call it. That's what it is. However, where we're trying to go is right across this bridge over here. That's pretty much your next rural area. It's actually kind of cool. You're running through a city. It's not the biggest area, but man, is there a lot packed into it. It's the Malum district. It's pretty cool. Come on. Did not mean to do that, but yeah, it's okay. I was wanting to hold on to my stuff, but it's all right. So as we progress, before you go all the way across, make sure to drop. We're just gonna do a quick little loop here for some items. Grab that. Grab that. All right. Same thing we just dealt with. As you move up, you are going to be dealing with a really big enemy that you have not fought up to this point. I don't think you need fire savior buffs. He's big. He's really dangerous. But he's another one that we can almost just stun lock until we break his stance. And we can actually break his stance, unlike the last guy. Yeah, stick with it. See, yeah, we're just kind of pushing him back. Got it. Thank you. He said stay aggressive. Now, I mean, it is a Souls-like. A lot of times you want to be defensive, but not always. Depends on what you're up against. You very well may end up paying for it. So you're going to hear a guy on a megaphone just talking a bunch of cash shit. It's just story context, so there's not much going on with it other than that.
Now, here's a safe
Quest item, then we can head on up into our drops. The tower. Actually, there's one item to the right, too. Didn't write down what it was, just put item. Yeah, nothing crazy. Alright, so to progress, you're going to need to go down, which means we do want to go up first. Or you end up missing stuff. This part's a little tricky, too, because you're going to need to do a series of drops. But you're on these beams. Like I said, it doesn't feel good. I like to roll, too. It makes me feel like I'm covering the distance a little bit better. I don't know if that's horse shit, but, makes me feel better about it. Once you get that backtrack, then go down this way. Otherwise, you're probably going to miss. The reason I'm looking around, too, is I want to make sure I don't miss anything in my notes. The way it's set up, it's making me feel like I could have, but I guess not. Okay. I didn't think so. It's really rare when we miss something, and if we ever do, usually like a consumable or something, but there are some areas, the way they are, the way they're laid out with the navigation, it makes me feel like I'm missing shit. Alrighty. 18, 2 more levels will be looking good. Alright, so getting into Red Cat and Black Fox's quest line. When you get through here, they're going to tell you they're going to help. Because the Malum District is the territory of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. You heard about them at the start. Those were the guys that Jiminy said he hated. They stole the train cart when you initially came out to like your first rural area. But this is their territory. Very much an enemy. So they said they're going to help us clear the area. Then they bail on us about halfway through and just kind of leave us fucked. So typically, I would like to do their quest in a way where they invade us so I can kill them because they irritate me. But we have to do their quest a very particular way because there are records involved, which we do need for your platinum. So what we're going to do here is just agree, accept offer.
So smart.
And they will at first at least offer you a little bit of help, but that's going to fade quickly. Now, going through here is going to be a lot of guys above you just kind of jumping out of windows and everything else. Typically, there it is. If you just move really slowly, like don't rush, the next one's no one will end up behind you. God, you guys aren't doing much damage. I gotta tell you, he'd do a bunch of damage. Alright, so I like to get her from range because there's a little dog up ahead that's gonna jump out too. Pretty cute. Alright, now before we go forward, I don't know why, but this seems like very easily to miss. I've missed it before. I mean, it's an upgrade. It's a decent crescent. Not for your boss weapons, but still crescent. So it's decent, but it seems like it's just the way it's set up, it's really easy to run past. Now, this is your next enemy. She could be next new enemy. She could be a little elite, but honestly, he's another one where you just unlock the charge heavy attacks, right? I think finding out information like that with the gameplay just makes the game that much easier. It does. Because it is difficult at times, especially the in-game bosses. But there's, there's a lot of stuff to help. Going up the stairs is going to progress you, so we don't want to do that just yet. This shortcut we cannot get yet. However, if you grab this, now the floor is going to break. So before we go down, we want to swing wide to the left, grab that, then go here. This will bring us to another area that we are going to want to do. Thank you. And right. Thank you. I thought I had an upgrade for that. So best. Now you see with our capacity in our ring, we're not even in slightly heavy yet. We're at 54%. We're getting close. Damn, even without the ring, we're still looking good. But it is getting very close, just so you guys know. So that's what I said. We'll want to get back into the health and the capacity before much longer, but we still got a minute. So by the time you get your damage up to 20, it's time to get back in typically. That's what I was saying. This is not Elden Ring. You're not going 60 in your damage at the end of the day. By the end of the game, if you got 30, you got plenty. You got plenty. So getting up to 20 right now does give us more than enough time to raise that survivability and just put you in a good way. Because this took me a bit to learn my first playthrough. Because I'm used to playing other Souls games where you got so much health. I'm sorry, so much in damage. It just wasn't happening here. And then I realized I'm like, well, it's not really needed either. It's typically fine. So this is where they're gonna bail on you. So they want to break, blah, 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 then they bail on you. So I said they're very much snakes at the end of the day. Okay? Yet they're always begging for your help. Now right over here's a weapon. We'll get that here in a bit. You just got to work another way around. Now I usually try to get a drop on her. Make life a little bit easier. What are we looking on time? 18 minutes. Yeah, we might be going over a little bit this episode to wrap up this area, which is okay. As long as we get it done, guys.
This month's protection fee will be waived for anyone who wants it down.
Hey. Yeah, so there's enemies up top. They're throwing a bunch of bullshit at you. And then you have to fight them. So it's a little rough. This guy's no joke either. Sometimes you can bring him into this little building over here. He'll do it. He says it's not an easy thing. He'll do it. Thank you. Run. You're straight back into the building. So like I said, the other thing you could do is just bring him into this building and fight. But that's a really big guy for how small this building is, guys. Really big guy for how small the building is. So that's a really good aim of that. I've been waiting for a long time for that. Fortunately, you have to wait till you're almost halfway through the game to get it. That is your Charles Talisman, your Chloranthy ring, if you will, right? So with that, we're going to get increased stamina regeneration. Very important. I wish we would have had it a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. So if you go out over here to the right, the shortcut we'll get here in a bit, just to show it off. What we're going to do is just take it slow. So this first right is actually going to put us right up top. Do what you're going to do. Stop it. And sometimes it feels like he's just not going to stop. We'll get our items. Alright, now we're good to go up. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So right over here, it's straight back to the left of the ladder, but we have one item to grip. So either way, what we're trying to do is top to bottom, guys. That's kind of what I'm saying. So if you go behind the building that we just went in, I like to go to the right side first. Come on, you're so impatient. Usually she doesn't always run out. It just depends. But we want to just get these biatches down. They're going to be spamming shit the entirety of the time at you. Yeah, they're dangerous, but I know they just don't have much health, which I'm not going to complain about whatsoever. There's also a little hole in this roof, so be cautious. I mean, it's just going to bring you down where we just were, but still, run back, right? If you sit behind here, she can't hit you. See that? That helps a bit. Now, like I said, we're going to get her out first, then we have some other stuff to do. At least this way, you know, from this point forward, no one's up top throwing shit, being super fucking annoying. This could be your next weapon. That's the same weapon from the Mad Donkey fight way back at the start. Not bad. You know, for motivity, it's not bad. Now, this next part I fucking hate doing because it's probably going to take us 4 tries for something that's not even that important. But when you get here, this breaks, there's a guy that's going to jump out the window. We have to try to run and jump to get that item. And it's really easy to overjump. We got it. But yeah, it's quite annoying, guys. I wouldn't, if you're going up there 2 or 3 times and you're not getting it, I wouldn't stress yourself about it. It's a hidden moonstone. We could actually buy infinite amounts from Paladina. So I wouldn't stress yourself about it because you will. I've been up there like trying to do it 5 times in a row and, you know, just never got it before. Now, if it was Dark Moonstone the Covenant, I'd do it 10 times. But like I said, don't stress yourself about it because you're either going to underjump or overjump at the end of the day. Usually you'll overjump and roll right off the other side. So, now that all that is caught up, guys, if you go all the way back behind the buildings and just follow all the way through, we can start pushing out of here. So we have one little dead end right here. Then we can start heading out. Except with all the combos, guys. You're not even good at them. Alright. Once you get 2 of those guys, we can go on up. So you're about up to your next Trinity key. Remember, we found one in the last area. I said they try to throw you off because you found the door before the key and you think you missed the key. So the key comes later, then you backtrack. So talk to him here. Either way, going through here answers Candy.
That's right. No offense, you know, it's as
I was trying to hit my drink. But if you guys want to go through and enjoy the riddles, you can. Just remember, take it serious because you have one shot at this. If you answer wrong, you're not going to get that key for that playthrough. There is a very long quest line related to this. Pretty much at the end, we do find the caller and, you know, complete the quest and get some pretty cool stuff. With all that being said, if you answer wrong, you don't get the key, you don't get the rewards. You're going to be missing on quartz and outfits and rings and, you know, all types of really good things. So, we don't want to do that. Now, we do want to go over here and get items, but first, just make sure you drop down and get the shortcut, guys. Now, we can push forward to pretty much the end of the area and open up a path. Now, we only have 1 heal, so it's up to you guys if you want to go back and rest from here. But I think it's, you know, it's not so bad. There's definitely, you know, there's a few enemies that we're going to face, but all in all, I don't think it's, you know, that bad of a run. But, you know, it's up to you guys. It's not a bad idea to rest. In fact, it's always smart. Always smart. So grab that, and there, you know, there is going to be a few items just kind of tucked out of the way here. Hidden Moonstone. Go on down. There you are. I know you're coming. Just come on with it. Buddy, you like gave up chase halfway through your run. Thank you. There shouldn't be, but was it one more little alley? Yep, that's right. With the damn dogs. So go up here first to the left. You can't break that, but you can sneak right past it. And over there on the left is going to progress you. So first, where is it? I know it's on the right hand side. I know it's on the left hand side. Okay. So we're looking for this ladder on the left. There's going to be some dogs that bust out right there, but usually you can go ahead and get up here, grab the items, and do a drop attack on them. Thank you. Like so. Like so. Now they're up here just kind of, talking their bullshit. Sure you leave? Yeah, I'm sure you guys saw it though. It's not really a big deal. Alright, so there's one very dangerous enemy here. This guy's got like big spikes come out of his hand. They'll reach out like 12 foot. It's pretty horrible. So I wouldn't really advise fighting anybody here, guys. Unless you get stuck into it. Yeah, as I said, wouldn't really advise fighting anybody. Because if you just run down and go straight on out here, take a right, there's a shortcut right back to your original area. I think it's smart. We're right at the end. Usually I don't like running past anything. But I also don't want to put together a risk right at the end, right at the end. Okay. So now that I had no choice but to take him down, let's go ahead and clear the area. One less thing to do when we go back through. But yeah, he's really dangerous. You'll fight him more and more as you get to, to the end game. Thank you. Alrighty. So if you guys remember, this is where we came from. There's two sets of stairs. So when we come back in, it's going to be your first stairs. So as soon as you run into your left-hand side, that's going to progress you. Now, over here, sneaky little booger. There's going to be a merchant up here with items you have to have. So first, it's going to pop your chest.
I thought
Talk
that
to
I
him.
do love it.
So when you talk to him, you need to show him the Black Rabbit Brotherhood mark, so he will actually sell you items. If not, you have to give him ergo. Choice is yours, That's so if you see the choice to give him ergo, it's not a big deal. It just means you missed your quest item we picked up at the end of last episode. He'll still sell all the same stuff to you. And I think it is the same prices. I wasn't sure about that at first, but I think it is. Regardless, it's part of a quest technically, and then with that, we could save our stuff. So he's got some really nice consumables, as you see, a little bit of everything, even some items you haven't seen yet. Cluster grenades are really good. Obviously, throw and sell. Carcass body fluid does acid. You got the thermite. So he's got really good stuff there, but he has weapons that you cannot get otherwise. Defensive parts, which are really good. Records that you need. Unfortunately, that just took from our levels, but as we've progressed through, guys, we've, picked up quite a bit. So everything we bought, we still have, more than we did, so I'll take that. Now, with that being said, I'm a collector. I like to get everything, so defensive parts, but you guys have to make sure you buy someday. This is for trophies. You have to have it. This is important. Let's see if there's anything else we can sell. It might not be ergo, but... Damn, we really need to stock up on these more. These two, that's all we have is 8. Damn, we really haven't got that many, have we? We might need to start to consider farming to buy up items, especially when we're trying to go to the DLC, guys. Especially when we're trying to go to DLC. So, it's definitely a concern. Those would actually be nice for upcoming fight. I don't use those. Fuck it. Yeah, we might want to start farming for items, if I'm being completely honest. So from this point, we're done. We're going for the boss. After which, some pretty big stuff's going to open up for us in the game. You know, that's just kind of where we are. So, for the boss, we'll have time to set up right before. Just remember what I said. As soon as you go out this time, unless you want to fight that asshole again, just shoot right over here to the left-hand side. Now, as mentioned, we are going straight for the boss. We can summon a Phantom, but Black Cat, Red Fox, they are going to be absolutely no
Looking
help.
good. Who'd have thought we'd make it this far? You've got all kinds of skills. Hey, everything went smooth as silk. And you know me, I don't impress easy.
Sure, but I gotta ask. You really gonna take on the Black Rabbit Brotherhood? But
So this fight, you're fighting like 5 guys. Now, the big brother's the main boss. So hopefully you can pinpoint him, you know, get him on his own and stack up that damage. But you're essentially fighting 5 humans. Since they are humans, they are going to be weak to acid. That's what's like, oh wait, we could use that canister. It's up to you guys. But most of them are just like basic enemies, and then one's going to have, you know, that boss health bar. So as mentioned, if you guys want to go ahead and buff up with acid if you have it, which we haven't even picked any up, or use throwables such as your carcass body fluid bottle, it can help a little bit. Now, I know a lot of people struggled on this fight, but there's 2 versions of this fight. So this fight's some just regular humans. Very late in the game, like one of the last things we do, we fight them again, but they've been all inflicted with ergo and the petrification disease. That's when it's difficult. So I know a lot of people have struggled with this fight. Parry timing's pretty crazy. It's pretty tight. Dude's got big ass fucking weapon. But for the most part, you're just gonna be fighting the big brother, and the other family members will just jump in for one hit here, one hit there. You deal with them as they come. Now, we have at least one summon, so at least be like a 2-on-5 fight. But most of the time, you just go in here and put them down pretty quickly, guys. So that's what I would recommend. Let's buff on up. Head on in. It's one of the coolest cutscenes. I hate to skip through it. I do. Because it's a walkthrough. We're already over on time. I hate to skip through it because it's one of my favorite boss cutscenes. They like put down the casket, it opens up, and it says liar. Yeah, see, we already lost our son of a bitch. So here's Big Brother. Just watch, watch his timing. That's okay. These are almost dead. They're halfway dead.
Don't you want to play with me, Mr. Puppet?
Like I said, since they are humans, they are going to be weak to acid. Now, luckily, our summon really getting the most of the rest of the family. So, like I said, it's really not that bad. Not this one. The next one, yeah. This one, pretty rough run. Ran through it first try and lost my buff. So, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's that difficult. Use your summon, let him distract. Now, most of the time, I think the summon gets in my fucking way, so I don't like them. But I said, that's why I don't use summons. It's not because I think I'm a good player, like everyone else who says that. But it's just because I feel like they get in my way. They fuck up my deflections and, things to help me out in the fight. However, with being the walkthrough, it's just smart. They're a damn good distraction, in general, but especially when we're outnumbered, especially when we're outnumbered. Oh, you killed my brother, we'll be back, blah, blah, blah. Then we fight him later on. But it is cool. They bring in the casket on the inside. They put it on the ground, pretty much saying, hey, we're going to put you in this. They open it up, it says liar. So it's definitely really, really, really cool. From here, it looks like we have just enough. Finish up our damage for now and get back into that health. Now, there's nothing else going on here. However, there's some pretty important stuff going on in here. So this is going to be their little hideout. Now, as soon as you go in, you're going to go over here to the left-hand side, get a painting of Pinocchio.
Hey, no, I'm just
we're gonna
kidding.
bring
No,
this
it looks
back
exactly like you.
and put
I
it
mean,
in
you see
Geppetto's
it,
room.
right?
It's got a secret
The
to it.
nose and the
So pretty much,
right.
when you go through and you collect all the records, it creates humanity, and that's what makes Pinocchio's nose start growing out of that painting. Once you go through New Game Plus, you've got and listen to every single record. That becomes like a really cool weapon. I've actually um, haven't gotten a long time because when I platinum this game, like as far as using it, when it first came out a few years back. Now, taking notes for the series, I had to platinum it again, but I didn't get time to, play with the weapon or, anything like that. So I do know it's really cool from what I remember. I know how to get it. That's why we have notes on. But I haven't actually used it in like 2 years. So I remember it really stood out, though. I know it's a pain in the ass to get. You can't use it until New Game Plus 3 or New Game Plus 2. I know that. Or is it? Yeah, I think it's New Game Plus 2 or New Game Plus 3. It's a minute before you could use it. But it's still really cool, hidden secret within the game. Um, you can interact with this too if you want. All puppets will die, blah, 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 blah. Anyone who messes with the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. Alright guys, so from this point we're going to go meet Giorgio and find the gold coin fruit tree. So this is officially allowing you to reset your character. So how to respec in this game, it's limited, but it's on a time limit. So you need a certain amount of gold coin fruit to respec your character, but you could respec your character, or you could reset your upgrades for the Legion armor and pick something else, or you could reset your heart, your P organ, and re-get all your skills with your quartz. And I think the cost of it goes up every now and then, and then it creates a certain amount of fruit like every hour you play the game, or something like that. So you just kind of leave the game on, collect a bunch of fruit. You only hold a certain amount of time, but I'm sure I know no, you could hold a bunch at a time, but you can only let's say you wait a while and you come to get 8 fruit. I think it could only hold up to 8 at a time. But last time I was in the DLC, I had like 60 of them. So it's just something that'll make more sense as you go along. So talk to Gianjo.
But I could.
There's quests related to him later on. So right now, if you go over here to talk about using gold coin fruit, you're just going to talk about, respecting character, how to gain fruit quickly. He's going to talk about alchemist boosters. So there's consumables we can boost into the tree that makes it give you fruit, more quickly. Um,
The people of it's maybe you'll find the people of.
then he starts to sell us wish cubes. Is it when we come back? I think with the rest of them come back, but he's going to start selling you wish cubes. As I said, I wouldn't use it until this point because now you can actually buy more. Otherwise, when you use the first one, you lose it. You won't be able to use your cube again. So you could get reliant on it, but it costs gold coin fruit to buy wish stones. We're over our time, guys. I don't have time to sit through all this, but so gold coin tree 0 out of 8 until the next fruit is ripe. So every 10 minutes you get one. It's about every hour and a half you get your 8 pieces. I think we have, we did get 8 the first time you interact with it. So if I went over here, I could reset my level, recalibrate P organ, reset Legion arm, or stop looking. So that's how it's going to work. And maybe we will mess with our stats towards the end of the game, getting set up for the DLC. But not till then. There's no point for me because I know what I want to do. For you guys, mess around with different stuff if you want to. Like I'd really love to go into technique, but if I did that, I'd be running around with like 10 technique, even if I put all my points the same because our build started with like 5. I didn't start motivity because I really wanted to do a motivity build. I liked the beginning stats to give us a good amount of capacity, give us a good amount of health. That I choose my builds usually have base stats because damage will always come. I'm not so worried about it. However, this build in particular came with a lot less in technique. So like for the DLC walkthrough, I'm going to do a quality build, but we're going to go through New Game Plus. That's going to help me get all those levels. So I'm not too worried about it. From this point, I don't think we have enough for our next upgrade. I know we're close. Let's check. We might have it. Yes, we do. Okay. So we'll have, that's what we want, attack link. It's really good. This just lets you dodge. Upgrades for that aren't the craziest at this point, if I'm being completely honest.
I always.
So while we're here, just make sure you're doing a, NPC run. So Smiling Bunny Mark, you can have that appraised. It's multi-use. We use it for that guy, but that's part of his quest too, so you still have to show it to him. We have a few records we have yet to play. So someday, like I said, I don't think you have to play the whole record. I don't think. But once you've played it, it shows up like this. That's how you know it's done. It doesn't have the case anymore. So just go through, I think it is like 5 or 10 seconds. And once we rest, that should go into effect. Because we gotta get credit for all this, and it boosts humanity. Now, to boost your humanity, I think you have to listen to the whole record. Let's check. So it should be... No, maybe we do. So let's just let that play out while we run around. Now, her quest doesn't really come for a bit, guys.
If you came from, I knew. I heard.
But once you unlock that shortcut, she does have dialogue. Just go through it. Then we already turned our last boss, Remembrance. We don't have Ergo for them. So if you notice, they just weren't that type of boss. Lastly, before we close on out, now that we've appraised the buddy mark, that's all we really had to do is appraise the buddy mark, pick up stuff you want. We have picked up quartz. I don't think we have enough for an upgrade, but I think we do have like 2 of the 3. I guess I should wait because we're about to go use our Trinity door. Oh yeah, we do have the 3 needed. Cool. So what should we go for first? Oh yeah, pulse cell recovery is definitely what we're going for. So now we have our 3rd tier. Pulse cells. I love that one too. Charge your Fable when you use your health. That's just smart. Where is it? I guess it's not on this one. That's okay. Hold on, guys. We'll just quickly fix some stuff here. This one's just not that great, if I'm being honest. I do love that. There we go. So now next time we get more, I'll probably be jumping to, one of these. I don't care for the wish stones and all that. That record's definitely played enough. Let's stop that soon. So we do need to talk to Geppetto. Like I said, we're going to go over this episode. We're already at like 45 minutes. We still have some things to do. We're going to go almost an hour, but we're getting the first half of the game wrapped up in full. It's important. So he usually always gives you information about your location, should be going to. We have to turn in the portrait. He's going to put that on the wall right over there.
Forget memories.
It's a cutscene of the portrait. Like I said, when you get more humanity, his nose is going to start growing. That will actually turn to a weapon.
The city asked me.
So, these are all your early game locations, right? Vanini Works, the Cathedral, Malum District, then Rosa Isabella Street, somewhere we're about to be going. Actually, we should exhaust all dialogue here.
The puppets are... I knew you. I remember you thinking. The black... Before, thanks to you. That is...
Alright, now, before we wrap up, and so there's still a few things to do.
Hurry up. Rosa Isabel's Geppetto. I feel.
So we do need to go back down, so talk to him, then come back to her so you can get your keys. So this leads you out to your next area. So I told you at the beginning, the game's like separated into 2 doors, essentially. So when you go out this door, that's like leads you all the way over to Malum District, going through all the areas we knocked out. That's like the first half of the game. Then if we go upstairs, this door there, that leads to all of your other areas. So that's what I said, we're about right at halfway. So there's one thing left to do, one thing only, for this episode. It's not going to take long. As I said, we're going to go over a little bit here, but it is really important. I'm trying to think, the closest, the Cathedral Chapel's probably still the closest spot. Alright, so like I said, we still have our Trinity key. So with that, we can go back to the Trinity door here. As I said early on, the first key you get before you find the door, then you find the door, and then the key, and it makes you think you missed the key. This is what you're going to have to remember to do. And this is not the only time this happens either, guys. So, you know, when you get these keys, you need to remember where your Trinity doors are. Now, if you followed along, I did point this out. You guys should be aware of it. If not, you know, we're doing it right now, so you're still good to go. So we're going to go on down. Stop it. Go to the right. Take your shortcut. This thing takes forever. Doesn't feel like much of a shortcut, does it? What the hell are we doing here? Alrighty. So where your ball trap was, that's where we're headed, guys. Let's take a little bit of backtracking, but at least we have our stopwatch, so then we can easily enough just jump on out. Thank you. And just one shot them now. Love it. Oh, almost. Didn't think we were close enough. Hopefully you guys don't mind a little bit longer of an episode. Like I said, we tried not to go too long, but there's a lot of stuff we did want to make sure was knocked out. We don't want to have stuff left behind us moving to, you know, the back half. Now, if you're enjoying the game, don't worry. Back half's definitely bigger than the front half. In fact, there's one area we get to. It's really neat. It's almost an open world area. It's semi-open world, but you know, it has exploration and really cool things to do. Then most definitely from this point, you're getting to the most interesting areas of the game. Even Rosa Isabella Street, we're going next. Really, really neat, guys. Really neat. There you are. So after all that bullshit, you have made it. Like I said, I don't think you need to interact with all this stuff, but it's not going to hurt. Just to be sure you're not missing anything. Or, you know, you're not going to have an item locked behind something. So like I said, sometimes it's quartz and outfits, sometimes it's outfits and rings. So that is going to reduce fall damage. Hotel Stargazer. And we are officially good to go. Alright guys, so like I said, with that, we are good to go. So next episode, we'll be heading on over to the start of the back half of the game. Like I said, we're about halfway through it right now. I mean, if you were to go look at your chapters, obviously the other chapters are much bigger, most of them at least. But if you look, you know, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're already heading to chapter 6. There's like 9 or 11 chapters, so, you know, we're really making a good time on this, being episode 9, right? Kind of killing it. So either way, guys, with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap on up. Y'all stay tuned. Please subscribe for more walkthrough, and we will catch you back here shortly to go ahead and work our way through Rosa Isabella Street.